Hey guys, welcome back to the Life Valley. I'm your host, Marion. I feel like you guys have heard that enough times to kind of know my voice by now. If you don't, I'm offended. Severely offended. No, I'm just kidding. Um, but you guys, it's a couple of days to spring. Spring starts in a couple of days, and I don't know where the year has gone. Literally, the fact that we're already in March says a lot. And I know I should not be saying that considering like 2 weeks ago was my birthday. But forgive me. I'm still in shock. I'm still reeling. But you know what? As your spiritual sis, your encourager, and today, your unofficial relationship coach. Yes, I said it. We are going to Relationship Town. Who's coming along for the ride? I'm interested. How many of us are in relationships now? How many of us are still searching? How many of us are confused? How many of us are convinced that God at this point wants us to become nuns or join a convent somewhere or go on some mission journey somewhere? I know I'm on that particular train. I'm very well aware that that's where I am right now. But I know that a lot of us are asking the same question. Like, God, is this one the one? And if he's not the one, how do I know the one? And, recently I've been coming across a lot of content with people talking about is there such a thing as God choosing your one? And, or is it a myth or a hoax? Like, do you become the one or do you find the one? Look, listen, here's my understanding. Because you cannot be so terrified to trust that you have a one that was made by God for you. That's the most perfect fit for you. And dude, whether you're single, you're dating, or you're in a what are we situation, or excuse me, are you confused type of moment, sweetheart, today we're just going to talk about love and everything in it. Now, the very first time we talked about relationships, which was episode 2, we talked basically about what love was. But you know something? Right now, I feel like, we've gotten a little bit of stage where we can go full on and talk about actual kingdom relationships. Now, I know that sometimes the waiting can be traumatic. Yes, I used that word. It can be traumatic. It can be mind-boggling. It can be emotionally distressing. But would you rather be in a substandard relationship, just because you feel like God is not on your side in that particular moment, or he's not messing with you, or he's not interested in you? Or would you rather wait and trust that, okay, he's actually sending someone who is the most perfect version of what you desire your way? And I mean, that's what this episode is about, right? We're going to talk about knowing if someone is from God or if they're just sent for character development or just sent to emotionally destroy you. And, we're going to talk about what a healthy God-centered relationship looks like. And last but not least, we're also going to talk about how to stay patient when it feels like everyone is getting married except you. Now, dude, when I was working on this particular topic, it was traumatic for me because this is something I've been struggling with for months. Well, months is an understatement. About 2-3 years. It's something that has been weighing heavy on my mind and on my spirit. I know I got to a point where I was just like, God, I want to get married. I'm interested in being someone's wife. I want to take a man's name. I want to cook in the kitchen and tell him, honey, welcome home. The reality is there's so much more to being a partner, to being someone's person than cooking in the kitchen, right? And, you know, if you've ever wondered whether you're on the right path, you know how we do it on the Life Alley, with a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, your favorite drink, or whatever it is that is your motivation. And then we talk because, sweethearts, ladies and gentlemen, this episode is for you. It's a call out at the same time it's an encouragement. So, let's get into it, all right? All right, let's be real. Dating as a Christian is different. I feel like we've established that, right? We're out here trying to balance waiting on God while also not ignoring red flags just because someone goes to church. And yes, someone said something hilarious to me the other day, and she said, you know something? I don't even want to date a guy that goes to church anymore. And I asked her why that was, and she said, because it appears all the toxic guys in the world are now coming to church. Like, I don't understand. What is it with toxicity and going to church? And I did not have a response. I feel like I should have had a response. I don't have one. I did not have one in that particular moment, and I still do not have one today. All I could think of in that moment was, sweetheart, everybody's trying to work on themselves. Even the ones who were not actively trying, everybody is trying to work on themselves. And if they figured that the church was the way to do it, sweetheart, everybody's invited. Come out. Let's have fun. And when you get there, please do not try to break any sisters' hearts or any brothers' hearts. Go with God and let God go with you. But let's be honest. We get impatient, which is why it seems like every single guy is a red flag or every single girl is a red C. It's just that we're impatient, right? We're expecting, like Emmy would say, the reason why I'm still unmarried is because I'm looking for Prince Charming. Preferably, I don't even know where he got that idea. My favorite Disney prince would be Naveen. Yes, yes. The tall black guy with the curly hair and the accent. Oof. Boy is fine. But that is besides the point, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I know what I said. I said what I said. Yes, I know a lot of you are going to come for me, but I said what I said. Feel free to, in the comments, drop your favorite princes or characters. We'll take them. And for the guys listening, your favorite princesses. Let's talk about it. Let's make it a conversation. But he would say, you're looking for your Prince Charming when you should be looking for your Prince Normal. Disney has made you so head in the clouds that you cannot see anything in front of your face. And it's hilarious. It is. But there is a certain level of truth to that. And in my impatience, I tend to look for certain characteristics in certain people. Characteristics that, trust me, should not have no business being there. And, when we get this impatient, we start thinking, maybe I should help God out. Honestly, let's just give him a little nudge, There's a very famous example of somebody who tried to help God out, and it backfired. Yes, it did not go well. And that was Sarah, when she tried to make a baby for Abraham with Hagar, her. And he was interested in waiting on God, but Sarah was so impatient that she pushed her maid into her husband's bed. And the maid had a kid, and then all of a sudden Sarah's jealous. That is the biggest issue with impatience where it comes to God. It's interesting that you would think humans would learn that after ages, but we're not doing such a great job, me included. And today we're just going to dive into how to recognize when someone is actually from God, the red flags we cannot ignore, and how to stay content in singleness while trusting God's timing. Now, believe you me, like I said when we started this podcast, we're going to learn together and we're going to grow together in faith, in spirituality, in wisdom, the works. We're going to discover God properly together. And we're going to do it in all ramifications, in all walks of life, in all topics, right? And this topic is not just for our listeners, it's also for me because I'm still in that phase. I'm still in that era. It's still in my season. I'm still waiting on my person. And sometimes, we often feel like we found that person. So what I liked to do about this topic was I spoke to certain people and asked their opinions. And this topic was compiled. Shout out to the people who told me not to mention their names. Shout out to you all. And thank you so much for your inputs and your education. And I hope that it will benefit me and our listeners and everybody who comes across it. I hope everybody would love this episode as much as I loved putting it together. Now, first topic, how to know if someone is from God. Okay, let's get into it. How do you know if a person is from God or if they're just a really good distraction? I mean, they look really good. Here's some things to look for. The typical number one. And I know everybody says this, but this really is your first, I want to say, inkling. When they push you closer to God, not farther away. Now, a lot of people misconstrue the job of a man. Yes, God made a man to be your provider. He made your man to be your protector, to be your comfort, to be your friend, the works. But most of all, he made man to lead you. And in leading you, it's to coming to God. Oh my God, I just realized this particular episode sounds more tailored to women. But let's fix that, right? So, men as well. It's that moment where in your strength or in your faith, you're short. And I do not like this concept. First of all, can we talk about this concept of we're not allowed to feel distressed or our fate will never take a hit? That is a lie. Some days your fate will take a hit. What matters is, do you allow it to waver? Right? Some days you're going to go to stuff and you don't know how to pray about it. You just can't. You're trying to, it's not working. Your partner will do that for you. She will pray for you. He will pray for you. They will pray for you. They'll fight for you. They'll guard you spiritually and physically. The whole purpose of having this person is they're making it impossible for you not to acknowledge the goodness of God in your life. They're making it difficult for you to look around and not see that God has been faithful in your life. So whether it is by praying for you and with you or showing you verses in the Bible they stumbled on, or reminding you that you were wonderfully and fearfully made. Yes, gentlemen, that is for you. Do not forget to tell your partner every day as often as possible that you love her and that she's beautiful. Yes, gentlemen, you fail to do that a lot. Yes, I see some of you with the raised eyebrow. Bring it down. Like I said, it's a call-out session as well as an encouragement session. Words do have impact, and I don't know how not to want to love God, even though sometimes your heart isn't always in it. And that is topic for another day. See, we're stray. I do this a lot. Oh my God. I stray off topic. But back to point one. Ooh. If you're just growing spiritually with them, that's a green flag. If you have to compromise your faith just to keep them, that's a big no. So this means if you tell him, pray with me, and he goes, oh, can we come back in like 2 hours and do that prayer? You know what? I'd rather go to like Chad's party. Or, oh my God, Emeka is doing a cookout. Let's go and eat. And then you put God on the back seat. You have successfully failed that test. And in a situation where, I don't know, maybe you're fighting an emotional battle and all you want to do in that moment is pray. What all this person wants you to do is, baby, come, I'll take you out. You eat something good and you'll feel better. Oh, baby, you are just overthinking things and now you need to calm down. Why are you thinking like this? You have think I'm going to a different place. Come back. He has also successfully failed that test. Both of you have failed that test. At that point, you need to run away because this is the person who's supposed to tell you if what you need in this moment is prayer, let's do it. If what you need in this moment is spiritual encouragement and assurance, let's do it. Let's find out what God says about this feeling, how to deal with this feeling. Let's actually do that and let's use it. It's not always easy, but that is the way somebody who was meant for you will act. And I know some people are going to say, oh my God, like, what if the person who's meant for me is not born again? My darling, if that person is not born again, don't leave them. Because, and I'm saying this, as intentionally as possible, Marv will say something. Marv says, you are the righteousness of God through Christ Jesus. And when he says that, it means and it reminds you that, you're enough. So if you ever feel like maybe this person is not yet born again or he's not given his life to Christ, but he's my person, your responsibility in that regard is guide them. Leaving them defeats the whole purpose of being a Christian. The whole purpose of being a Christian is do not abandon your fellow man just because they do not know me. Teach them about me. Now, that question being answered, we do not have that much time, so we're going to skip right ahead. And point 2, they're building with you, not just enjoying what you built. Now, are they adding to your life or are they just there for the benefits? And that is a very important part to look at. It does not mean that if you've made something of yourself, your partner, cannot just come in randomly. No, that's not what it means. It means when you say, I need to do this for this, they need to understand. Maybe, love, I have a business meeting I need to attend. Yeah, sure. May the grace of God go with you and may you be successful in what you do. And those moments where you feel emotionally drained and you're mentally exhausted and work has taken a lot out of you in that day, she can put her hands on your chest and tell you everything is okay. God is with us in this journey. What do you need me to do? Not the opposite, where she's tearing you down as opposed to tearing you a new one when you make mistakes and guiding you to the version of you that God made you to be. Now, point 3. Their words and their actions don't match up. A lot of times, this is truer than we know. It is so true. Ooh. It drives me up a wall. And on that note, I will share a story with you. Don't tell anyone. I was once on a date with an interesting young man. And he said something. He said, I'd seen you at church. I was like, oh, I'm glad. Yeah. Because for those who know me, or for those who don't know me, I'm on the host and ushering team at church. And he was like, I'd seen you at church. I was like, oh, I'm glad. I'm great. That's amazing. I'm grateful. And he goes, you're very beautiful. I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then he goes, and this is where he throws me off for a good couple of seconds. He goes, are your eyes naturally defective or do you like wear the glasses for fun? Child, when I say I was taken aback, I was concerned. I was like, ooh, Holy Ghost, help me. I'm about to throw hands. What do you mean? I wear glasses to have astigmatism, whatever it's called. And he goes, "Are your eyes naturally defective, or like what's the story here?" And I'm like, I have astigmatism. I wear glasses. Why? And he goes, "Oh, just like in case we have kids, I don't want them wearing glasses." And I went, "Ooh, mm, mm, oh, mm." Now you would think at that point I'd be like, "God bless you. I'm going home." No, your girl sat there for another like 20 minutes and listened to this guy go on about how, oh, like, what did you study in school? I studied media studies, and you know, and he goes, "Oh, like, would you consider being a housewife?" Like, I'm like, I did not pay 200 and something $1,000 to go to school just for me to sit in the house. And for the women who do, all strength to you, sweetheart. You're doing an incredible job. But it was never my intention or my dream to sit in the house. Why am I sitting at home? And he goes, "No, like, I just want a wife who's going to be in the kitchen." And he's like, "I want to show you off. You think I can get you in the gym for a couple of days, weeks, months?" I'm like, my offended is offended. What do you, what, mm. And then the next weekend at church, boy, boy brings me a cup of coffee and he's like, "Hey, I was thinking about you today and I figured you might need a little pick me up, after taking care of people on this fine Sunday afternoon." I'm like, no, I have not recovered from last Sunday. Let me recover from last week. I haven't recovered. My offended is still offended, and then that offended is also offended. So there's a lot of offended happening here. Until I'm okay, go away, so I do not hurt you in the name of God. But again, I'm not weird. The fact that he had already sat down and thought as far as marrying me, but found me incomplete already. You don't even know me, but somehow my eyes were a problem, my size was a problem, my career was a problem. I'm just looking like, dude, what is not a problem for you? Oxygen? So very soon, I'm pretty sure me breathing will cause fights. So yeah, that was the day I realized I was saucy. I'm sorry. But I found that to be one of the most hilarious things of my life. And then when I told my dad about it. I told my dad and we had a laugh about it, and he's like, he has to be the most confused young man on earth. And if he's that confused, my sweetheart, run, because he cannot offer you anything worthwhile. Do me a favor, run. Nigerians would say when you're running, let the heel of your foot hit the nape of your neck. Very cartoonish. But I could not run fast enough. But then that's just it. Now, someone would listen to that and say, "Oh, but sweetheart, what if he was from God? What if your assignment was to change him?" No, God does not give that kind of assignments. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. There is a difference between guiding someone to God and changing someone. You are not Houdini. You do not do magic. You believe in miracles. He will change, but maybe not for you. And if this is the first date, that is how I know, nope, that is not my person. Cannot be my person. And I did not hear from God to sit still. I did not hear that, so I ran. And maybe now I shouldn't have run, but I ran. You know? Now, let's talk about deal breakers, because I know sometimes we do not recognize them enough. And sometimes we ignore these red flags because we want something to work. But guys, wisdom is profitable to direct. That is the Bible, not me. It is in the Bible. Okay. Number one, they don't respect your boundaries. No. If they do not honor your no now, they will never honor your yes later. When you tell them I'm uncomfortable doing this, my religion does not support me doing this, I do not want to be there. I do not like that. I'm not interested. Don't talk to me that way. Don't treat me that way. And they seemingly say it's for your own good, turn around and walk away. Don't think about it. Don't hesitate. Run. As fast as humanly possible, run. Keep running. It's God's job to convict him, not yours. Keep running. It's all right. Something will catch you, hopefully God. And hopefully that person. Hello. But someone will catch you. But until then, keep running. They cannot tell you that they love you and not respect or honor the things that you say to them. When you say, I do not like it when you hug me that way, it hurts me. But sometimes they're like, oh, I just want to watch you squirm. Nope. That is not right. There are other ways to play pranks on your partner. There are other ways to have fun with your partner without hurting them or breaking their boundaries. When someone says, don't ever raise your voice at me, I'm your person, I'm your partner, I'm not a slave. And even if they were a slave, you don't raise your voice at people. And when they lose their temper, they scream at you, walk away. Why? Sweetheart, they will keep screaming at you because they know because of your religion, you probably might not want to throw hands. But me, I will throw hands in the name of God. Hello. Point 2, they only show up when they need something. So these are, according to my best friend, these are the once a week 2-timers. So they would call you once every week and, twice if it's bad. It's really bad when they call you twice. And then it's the, hey babe, I had a dream and I don't know what to do about it. Can you pray for me? And then there you are in the middle of the night. Nigerian people will call it kabashing. So kabashing is like when you go in a state of prayer and you're warring. You're casting, binding, destroying, and and this person is fast asleep. You're the only one fighting this battle. It is not your job. But then there you are, commander in chief. Good job. I'm happy for you. But then they're gone. Once the problem is solved, they're off again. They come back once again next week and they're like, oh my God, I have this interview in like 3 days and I feel so unprepared. I don't know what to do. And then there you go again. You're praying, you're encouraging. Oh my darling, the Bible says that whatsoever we ask in his name, the good Lord will give it to you. Why? Why? My dear, you went to school to study English literature, not psychology. What are you doing? Why are you doing therapy? Are you getting paid for that? If you're getting paid, how much? Huh? You're not getting paid for that. Don't behave like that. It's not nice. It doesn't suit you. It's not a good look. All of a sudden, your credit score is not looking cute. And then there you are taking on financial advisor position. Send them to a bank. Go to a bank. Go and tell the people in the bank that your credit score is not good. What can you do to bring it up? You're not Jesus. Relationships, two-way street. It's you and this person. Well, I call it a triangle, right? It's you, God, and this person. 3 of you. You're working on yourselves. You're working on your relationships. You're working on your futures together. All of a sudden, this person falls off the face of the earth. And then in 3 months, you're hearing, oh my God, Michael is getting married to Sarah. Oh no. But then there you've been this whole time being the therapist, the prayer partner, financial advisor, savior, warrior. You've been doing all of this all this time. But this person had their person all along. And then there you were wasting all this precious time. Ooh, and number three, this one drove me up a wall when I heard it. They keep you a secret. Why? Are you not great enough to be out in the public? I, ooh, no, it's a rule with me. By the time we're 3 months old, I should appear in something. Maybe not my picture. My handle is enough. My social media handle, it's enough. My nickname, it's enough. That way, you know you're not a secret. Dude, I do not understand why people feel so comfortable telling someone I love you. You're the wind beneath my wings. You're the star in my sky. You're the moon that shines in my darkness. But then you're keeping this moon hidden. I thought the job of a moon was to shine bright, but then there this moon is being hidden under a carton. Why? What is it doing there? If you have been talking for 6 months and no one knows about you, run. His mom should come and be like, oh my God, sweetheart, I heard about you. You're Samantha. He's been talking about you all this time. You're gorgeous. Better than he described. Oh my God, you're Julio. I heard about you. Yes, she told me all about you. About that date or that conversation. It had such a great impact on her. If that has not happened to you, and you're meeting his parents and they're saying, nice to meet you, when did you guys start talking? That's a problem. Yep, that's an issue. Meanwhile, this guy is in your DMs telling you, I can't wait for the day that you're wearing that 6 feet long train for me. You know, I want the kids. I already know their names. Whose names? Whose names do you know? What are you talking about? What are we doing? Plus, God's choice for you will bring you peace, not confusion. So if you're feeling all of this, he's not the one. He is not the one. And she is not the one. Yo, run away. I'm telling you to run. Because, like I said, God's choice for you will bring you peace, not confusion. The Bible says that he giveth a perfect gift that adds no sorrows. I mean, it's God. Has he ever given you something that is too much for you? But then here you are thinking about, oh my God, like I love Liam so much. Like Lucas, I love him so much. But then he doesn't call me. He calls me like once every 3 days. Why? What is so important? What's did his phone get rode over? What happened? Oh my God. I feel like every time he calls me, like there's something wrong. Like he has never called me to just be like, hi, I want to check up on you. That's a problem. If you constantly feel anxious, you're overthinking, you're unsure, you do not feel centered, you do not feel balanced, you do not feel safe, you don't feel like you're important, you don't feel like you matter, you do not feel like this person loves you, you need to reevaluate the entire situation. Because, my darling, that is a sign. You need to sit down, weigh everything, and re-pray. Like, yes, pray again over this matter and ask God again. Hey, yo, am I lost? I feel lost. Am I lost? I mean, and let's be clear. If you have to pray about someone every single day because something feels off, that might be God's way of telling you, sweetheart, that is not your battle. Nope. I did not put you here for that nonsense. That is nonsense and you know it. Go. Run for your life and everything you hold dear. Just keep going. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. But then, like my grandmother will say in the Nigeria, she would tell you that some people don't used to hear what they've told them once, they will tell them 20 times and they will still not hear it. The Bible says, let him that have ear, let him hear. If you like, stay there. Stay there, okay? We'll pray you out of the relationship. Don't worry. Stay there. Enjoy yourself. Balance well. But now to my singles, because I'm not the only single one. And I cannot possibly be the only single one. All right? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about singleness. because this is where we are struggling. I'm struggling. Everybody I know who's looking for a relationship right now, they're struggling in this particular aspect, right? Instead of seeing singleness as a waiting room, why not look at it as a training ground? Now, remember I told you that for this episode, I had to speak to a couple of people and compile this episode. That was the advice one of them gave me. Your singleness is not a waiting room, it's a training ground. It's in your singleness that you develop your prayer habits for marriage. You develop your patience, your thinking ability, your understanding, your kind-heartedness, your benefit of the doubt spirit, your, I want to say, characteristics, the things that will make you the good wife, the good husband. It is in singleness that you build that. If you try to build it outside of singleness, you will fail. Trust me. Not because you cannot learn on the job, but because it takes a lot more patience, courage, training, understanding to build it in that moment, and it will become exhausting in that situation. Now, here's how you do it. And this is the advice I was given. It's the advice I'm giving to you guys as well. Number 1, use that time to grow. Take that class, start your business, deepen your relationship with God. Your life doesn't start when you're in a relationship. It starts happening now. For those of us who feel like being married is part of our destinies, there is also so many other sides to that destiny. Start fulfilling those sides first, and then wait for the marriage to come. This was I want to say, an understanding that hit me in this year. And it felt good to know, that, okay, I was not psychotic when I made that decision. I was not out of it. I was in my right mind. Do that thing that you seem to want to do. That, okay, I feel like I need to hike Machu Picchu. Hike it. Please go with a Sherpa or a guide. We wouldn't want you falling off the mountain. But you feel like you want to learn how to drive? Learn. You want to attempt your first fashion show? Go for it. We're here with you in spirit. We're praying for you. Come on, you got this. I cannot say that I will buy one of your dresses, but hey, I'm here. I'm praying for you. Don't put your life on hold because you're waiting for your person to come. He or she will come regardless. But there's so much life that you're missing in this moment because you're waiting for this one person. And when they come, that time that you've missed, it's gone. It's not coming back. Point 2, heal before you date. In every single relationship that you have entered on earth, there is a sign of trauma. Whether or not it works out or not. Maybe the way the person said something to you, it weighs on your heart. Maybe they shrugged you off in public. Ooh, you feel unwanted. You feel cast aside. You feel damp in your spirit. Everything just feels heavy. Heal. Unhealed wounds don't disappear just because you're in love. If anything, they fester because you're not taking care of them. You're not paying attention. You're not trying to clean it up. You're not trying to say, okay, I'm bold and beautiful. I am made in God's image. I am made for God. I am made by God. So therefore, I have a great destiny. I have a great calling upon my life. I will fulfill it. At this point, you're just going to his eyes are so blue. And your wound is like, hello? Need cleaning over here. Clean up on aisle 9. Right. No? Okay. And then you're going to find that maybe in this new relationship, maybe he's just like, I cannot believe you just did that. And you shirk back. You're hiding again. Why? You didn't treat the first injury that started. The scab, you left it. Now it's not healing. Now it's turning into a scar. And one that is not healing at that. It's becoming a festering injury. Make sure you're whole and complete before you try to build with someone else. Make sure that all those things that were said to you, you no longer believe them. You wave them off your body. You cleanse yourself of that dark thought. It's not easy. All those violent abuses, all those incomplete feelings, all those unwholesome moments, all those things that made you feel less than, get rid of it. So that no matter what this person says to you, you know you're complete. No matter what this person does to you, you know you're complete. You know you're wanted, you're needed, you're relevant. It's not easy, but it's important that it's done, don't you think? And 3, just because your friend got married at 25 doesn't mean you're behind. AKA, stop comparing timelines. That is where I struggle. You know, one of my best friends in the world, she got married when she was 23. And I thought I would get married when I was 23. But that did not happen. Now I'm 26 and I'm single. As single as ever. Single is single looking at my single. But I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm not behind. God's plan for me is unique. So is yours. Whatever he's planned for you, whatever he's written in your destiny, whatever is written in your stars is unique to only you. Nobody else can take that seat from you. Only you can run it in a way that would be satisfactory to him. Trust that you will get married when he wants you to get married. My mom will say, whether the devil likes it or not, I will be who I'm meant to be. And no devil on earth, no devil in hell, no devil anywhere can stop that. Trust that. Now, we've come to the part where I beg you to please send me your stories. Send me your messages. I like hearing from you. I love hearing from you. Have you ever seen a relationship red flag way too late? Maybe you guys have gotten to the, will you marry me? Yes. And then he does something ridiculous or she says something absolutely rambunctious. Yes, I know what the word means. And you're just like, I'm not, no. Forever is too long to be with the wrong person. And that's the wrong person. Or do you have a testimony about trusting God's timing for love? DM me on Instagram, and I'd love to feature your stories. Come on, guys. Please, please, please. You know, tell me something, a little something. I'm interested in your stories. They're important to me. You're important to me. But, you know what? I've shared a story. Let's see. Are you willing to share a red flag you saw in a relationship? Just one. We're gonna ask Marv to share one. He just looks at me like I have 12 heads. Like, what are you doing? That's not in the plan. It is now, because they need a little pick-me-up. So, I feel like I've been harsh on them this episode.
One red flag I saw in a relationship was the disrespect for each other, whereby both parties did not really, it seemed they didn't really value each other when they were in intimate spaces, because this was like a close friend of mine, and when they were outside, everyone thought like they were the best couples ever, but when they're in intimate spaces, it was, kind of toxic, whereby I could clearly tell the girl didn't value the guy's opinion and didn't respect him as much, and likewise the guy towards them. And I knew that wasn't going to work. And then in 3 months later, we broke up, and I was like, expected, that's expected.
Wow. I do not. I'm just gonna wrap up the episode at this point because that's heavy. But that's an example of what we want. So guys, please, 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 please share your stories. But that's it for today. Did you guys have fun? I had fun. then at the same time, I'm sorry if I said things that scabbed your heart or broke your heart. But, you know, I'd rather you be the best version of yourself, you know? Now, I hope that this has encouraged you, whether you're single, dating, or trying to figure it out. What did I just say? Yeah, that. I hope that it made you feel better, and I hope it gave you a bit of clarity. I hope you saw what you were hoping to see. And always remember, God's timing is perfect, and He will never send you someone that pulls you away from Him. Next week, we're talking about... You know what? I'm not going to tell you. Next week is a surprise. Tune in, and you'll find out what it is. Don't worry. We always have your best interest at heart here at the Life Valley. So until then, stay wise, stay patient, and please don't ignore these red flags, y'all. And drink a lot of water. The next time we speak will officially be in spring. I hope that the new beginning of the world hits you and makes you smile. And I hope that you as well have a great new beginning. Love you, and see you next week. Bye!